If you try to recall the 5 directors you consider your favorites, there will most likely be representatives of 2 or 3 different countries among them. If I'm wrong, you can prove me wrong in the comments. But which country has given us the biggest number of great directors? The United States, maybe Spain, Mexico, the United Kingdom or France? To answer this question, we first need to understand how to count these great directors and how to do it without being too subjective. I selected several criteria and sources in order to evaluate this greatness from different angles. The first is festival success: Cannes, the Venice Film Festival and the Berlin Film Festival. I didn't consider the Oscars, since they mostly reflect the American film industry, while we are interested in equal international competition. The second criterion is recognition from critics and colleagues. Here, the most authoritative ranking, Sight and Sound, compiled by critics and filmmakers themselves, will help us. And my cat will help us as well, I hope. The third criterion is audience love. Nothing surprising, here we'll look at the IMDb top 250. And in the end, there will be one more ranking, the ranking of all rankings. I'll talk about it later. Let's start counting the festival winners. A few clarifications first. I decided that if a director won the same award twice, they would only be counted once, so that one unique figure would not carry the whole country on their shoulders. If a director has dual citizenship, the first one they received was taken into account. If a film has 2 directors, each one is counted separately. And most importantly, only the years starting from 1951 were included. This is because earlier festivals could have been more dependent on international propaganda. And overall, I wanted to exclude those who were making films that only very remotely resemble modern cinema. At first, I thought about counting everything manually in a spreadsheet, but then I realized that with all the additional filters it would take forever, so I started tormenting neural networks instead. They made mistakes, fed me hallucinations, and disagreed with each other in their counts, so I ended up using 4 models at once, refining the prompts and making them check one another until they were all satisfied with the accuracy of the answers. So, the Cannes Film Festival. Let's start from the bottom. Here's the list of countries whose directors have won the top prize once. Even from this part of the list, we can already conclude that the festival is not some kind of private party for a select group. Winners come here from all corners of the planet. Directors from Belgium, Denmark, Germany, Greece, Iran, Poland and Sweden have taken the Palme d'Or 2 times each. 4 different directors from Japan, 5 from the United Kingdom, a total of 12 from Italy. France ended up very close with the 13 points. And in Cannes, they really love Americans, they have as many as 17 different Palme d'Or winners. So at the moment, we have a top 3 and a clear favorite in the form of the United States. Someone who isn't deeply immersed in the topic might assume that those winners with German, Italian, Swedish and Dutch surnames represent other countries, but all of them were born in America. Well, so far this is only one festival. Let's see how things look with the winners of the Berlin Film Festival. Here is the list of the countries with single laureates. By the way, aside from Greece and Yugoslavia, none of those countries appeared among the winners in Cannes, so we might expect some strong changes in the upper part of the table. The list of countries with 2 victories: Brazil, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Japan, Poland, Switzerland, Turkey, Soviet Union. From 3 to 6 victories go to Sweden, Romania, Iran and China, which had only 1 point in Cannes, but here immediately has 4, and France with 6 victories. And in the top 5 there are indeed some significant changes. It makes sense that there are more from Germany at the home festival. By the way, it's worth clarifying that I counted both the Federal Republic of Germany and the German Democratic Republic as Germany. And the most noticeable change in the upper part of the table is Spain with as many as 7 victories compared to just 1 in Cannes. And now let's take a look at the total for the 2 festivals. The United States has remained in the first place so far, Italy has overtaken France, and the United Kingdom has moved closer to the leaders. Then come Germany, Spain and Japan packed closely together. Let's see how the Venice Film Festival will change our table. Once again there are newcomers from Asia, the Philippines, Malaysia and Vietnam. This time the United Kingdom is in the group of countries with only 2 victories. Next come to the countries with 3 winners. In overall total we will later add Russia to the USSR, and together they will have 4 winners. And in the top 3 favorites, the first time the first place isn't the United States but Italy. Now let's take a look at the total points from the all 3 festivals and determine the most successful country in festival cinema. The United States is still in the first place, but the gap is no longer so large. Italy has secured second place, followed by France. The United Kingdom, Germany, Spain and Japan are already trailing by quite noticeable margin, but the critics' rankings and the audience ratings may still change the balance of power. By the way, did you know that there are only 3 directors who have won the top prizes at all 3 festivals? Those are Henri George Clouzot, Michelangelo Antonioni and Robert Altman. At the same time, only The Wages of Fear by Henri George Clouzot won the 2 awards in the same year, 1953, in Cannes and in Berlin. Altman and Antonioni received all their awards for different films. From festival winners, we move on to the list of the greatest films of all time. Among the professional lists, I decided to focus on the top 250 ranking by Sight and Sound. This is an authoritative British magazine published by the British Film Institute. The latest edition of the list came out in 2022. The poll included 1,600 film critics, directors and film scholars from all over the world, each of whom selected 10 of the greatest films. I choose this ranking specifically because such a rare publication removes the factor of initial hype, media budgets and similar things. If a film remains valuable even years after its release, then it truly can be considered great. I applied the same filters to this list as I did to the festivals. Only films from 1951 onward were included, and repeated appearances by the same director in the list do not add extra points. And the position in the ranking doesn't matter, we only count the number of directors from each country. There is a long list of countries with only 1 film in the ranking. If you want, pause the video and take a closer look. Next come countries with 2 points. And now we open the top 10 countries with the largest number of represented directors. In 10th place is India with 3 films, and this time Italy stopped at 4th place with 9 directors in the list. You can pause the video and try to guess in the comments which country pushed it out the top 3. Ready? Then I'll reveal it. For the first time the United Kingdom has made it into the top 3. In 2nd place is France, and the leader by a very large margin is the United States. Now let's add the results of the Sight and Sound ranking to the festival results. That's what the top 10 looks like. The United States has pulled ahead as a strong leader, France and Italy are running neck and neck, followed by the United Kingdom, and a tight battle in the lower half of the top 5. For some, Iran taking 10th place might come as a surprise. We've dealt with the professionals, so now it's time to add the opinion of ordinary viewers to our statistic. For that, we'll turn to the IMDb top 250. The rules and the filters are all the same, so I won't repeat them. As always, we start from the bottom. Countries with 1 director on the list. Next come those with 2 and 3. There is nothing particularly worth focusing your attention on here, but higher up things become quite interesting. Here are the 4 through 6 places. It's no secret that in India, with its huge population, people actively support their films on IMDb, so such surge is expected. What's surprising is that for the first time we see both Italy and France outside the top 3. The further we move away from the festivals, the worse their results become. And the top 3 of the audience ranking looks like this. A super leader, the United States, the United Kingdom high again, and for the first time Japan appears in the top 3. We add the IMDb results to the overall table, and yet the United States has twice as many points as the closest pursuer. IMDb has also strengthened the positions of the United Kingdom, Japan and India. But we are not finished yet. I said earlier that I still have 1 more criterion in the program. It's the ranking they shoot pictures, don't they? If you've never heard of this website collects as many best of the best rankings as possible and produces an average evaluation. But this time we won't take the list of films, we'll take the list of the top 250 directors. Let's call it something like a factor of contribution to the development of the cinema. Here's what we get. A large number of countries with only 1 director, about the same number with 2. Only 4 countries have 3 directors on the list. And now we've reached the top 10. For the first time, Austria has scored a significant number of points, the USSR has a solid 10 directors, and Italy is once again outside the top 3, which this time consists of the United States, France and the United Kingdom. As we can see, France has returned to the list of the leaders once again. It's time to sum up the overall results and see whether there is anything there besides the hegemony of the United States. The final list across all systems. 10th place, China, 14 points. 9th place, India, 15 points. 8th, Spain, 19 points. 7th, the USSR and Russia, 21 points. 6th, Germany, 27 points. 5th, Japan, 30 points. And perhaps the main intrigue, how did Italy, France and the United Kingdom end up placing? 4th place, the United Kingdom, 54 points. 3rd place, Italy, 58 points. 2nd, France, 83 points. And the 1st place, the United States, 175 points. Among European countries, the main forge of great directors turned out to be France, and in Asia, Japan. Yes, the United States, with the full power of the Hollywood, is far ahead of everyone. But if you take a combined team of Europe, it would surpass the United States with 262 points. If we look at the chronology of the festival victories and the release years of the films, we can see that in the middle of the last century, Italy led first, then France, then Germany. Around the turn of the centuries, leadership shifted to the United States, and starting from the 2000s, the weight of Asian countries has been growing more and more. By the way, I have a separate video about the secret behind the success of Korean content. To finish, I would like to highlight several directors who have been especially successful both at festivals and with a wide audience. For example, Martin Scorsese has a Palme d'Or for Taxi Driver and as many as 7 films in the IMDb Top 250. Next to him stands Quentin Tarantino with a Palme d'Or for Pulp Fiction and 6 films in the Top 250. Akira Kurosawa, besides a Golden Lion and Palme d'Or, also has 6 films in the IMDb 250. And Hayao Miyazaki has a Golden Bear and 4 films in the audience top. Francis Ford Coppola has 2 Palme d'Or awards and 2 films in the IMDb 250. And I've already told you about the Ultimate's hat-trick, he has also 3 films in the IMDb top. Thank you for counting along with me, suggest ideas for new videos in the comments. This was Nikita, see you!